Hello and good morning, witchy friends. So Little Cosmic Crow has blessed us with another tag video, and I'm obviously very excited because I love tags. I wasn't personally tagged in this one, but I'm doing it anyway. And I would like to, as usual, hand this off to Rainbow Pagan in case they would like to do it. So, this is a 15 question tag, and you've probably already seen a few of the VRs on her channel. It's kind of the second part of the Get to Know Your Witches tag that I did months and months ago. So, sorry if it's a little dark in here. It is still morning, and that's why I look like I just got out of the shower, because I did. This tea is the pancake oolong. It's like syrup flavored, and it actually carries really well. It surprisingly tastes just like the macadamia nut vodka that we bought, which I'm like, Anyhow, let's get right into this tag to make up for a few of the videos that I've just been putting off. Oh, and by the way, I watched her original video when I think there was 6 views. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get on this tag. I'm going to be one of the first people to do it. And then that was like Friday, or my Sunday. So I didn't get around to doing it for another almost week. But here we go. All right, question 1. Does your birth name suit you? If not, do you want to, or have you changed it? So my birth name is Alexia. I don't like it at all. And I don't know if it's because of all of the negative connotations that I've had over my life, people yelling that name at me. But I have indeed changed it. I go by Lexi now, at least on the days that I am feeling like Lexi. On the other days, I go by Nim, and I've already introduced myself to you as Nim before. We've had a lot of Nim days lately. As far as a magical name goes, I do not have one. I've thought about it a little bit, but I haven't necessarily been called to explore that further. So I think I'm okay with my normal name right now, even in magic workings. So no, I don't think it suits me at all. Everybody, when they hear my actual birth name, is like, oh, it's so pretty. And I just am like, oh boy. Yeah, so we don't go by that anymore. It's kind of triggering, so I don't like it. Number 2, what kind of weather do you most connect with? Rain, storms, mostly rain and storms. I enjoy the snow if I'm inside and I have no obligation to go anywhere for 12 hours or more, so you can wake up and see the snow outside and not have to worry about driving in it. Or shoveling, for that matter. Number 3, within paganism or spirituality, is there anything you are uncomfortable with? So, I'm mostly uncomfortable with things that I don't know particularly well, things that I don't understand yet, which I think is a lot of the reason that people kind of shy away from things like shadow work, is because it's uncomfortable and unknown, so they just don't try to go into it. Personally, I think shadow work is great. That's not necessarily anything that makes me uncomfortable. I can't think of one specific thing, I guess, other than being unprepared and like not ready, I guess, for something that's coming. So yeah, these last few weeks with my spirit guide on a bit of hiatus has been particularly difficult. And I know that he's there, just further back than I'm used to. And he's trying to get through, but it's really, really hard to pay attention or to even hear. Number 4, in your spell work or practice, how do you help yourself to be more confident? Believe it or not, I'm actually a very confident person. I might not look like it, and I don't act like it, maybe at work or anything, but I am actually a very confident person inside. I'm not really unsure about my spell work or about my rituals. I always feel like you kind of have to be firm no matter what you're doing. Because intention is absolutely everything, especially in spell work. If you intend to do this one thing, you absolutely have to have your mind set on it. So I guess just project being confident and fake it till you make it, I guess. It's what I do just about every area of my life. So that'd be a good place to start, I guess. Just believe in yourself. Believe in the fact that you know what you're doing. And even if you've never done it before, you know what you're doing, I guess. I don't know. That's what I do, I guess. Number 5, who is someone who inspires you currently? As always, the lovely Drew from She Who Walks Between the Worlds. I watch her videos constantly. Outside of the witchy community, I guess my boyfriend, because he's always trying really hard, and everybody needs to, I guess, take a look at that. And even when things get you down, you gotta keep trying. So here's a shout out to you. If he even watches this, and probably not, but we don't talk about that. So in the witchy community, definitely Drew. I do watch a lot of Shadow Harvest, and so many others I just can't even name right now. Also Calico Girl, not necessarily witchy, but very calming. It's like, it's vlogs about her and her, I guess, earth-friendly lifestyle, and she makes all of her own things, and it's inspiring and also very, like I say, very calming. I watch it in the mornings. It's got happy little music, and she's just drinking coffee and cleaning her house, and it's just very relaxing. I wish that I could do that every day. Number 6, do you think you are responsible for healing or fixing mistakes your ancestors made? So I know this is kind of a big topic for everyone, because ancestors have a tendency, at least the mortal ones have a tendency to kind of, that's a long conversation. I know ancestors are supposed to go back more than 3 generations or whatever it is, but I only know really 3 of them. Like, I know the names of more than that, but I haven't actually gone that far into ancestor work. And I do specifically work with the witch ancestors, not the bloodline ancestors. So for them, I don't see what they could have made the mistake of, I guess. For bloodline ancestors, I don't actually know my extended family that well to even know what atrocities they've committed. But I suppose if you're from a very famous family, then you would know. But as far as I know, just normal mistakes that mortals make. I don't particularly feel a responsibility to fix anything if I don't know what it is, I guess. And as I said, I haven't really started in-depth ancestor work yet. So until then, no, not really. Number 7, what is the weirdest thing you've experienced within your path? There's been a few things. Weirdest, not necessarily, because I kind of just take it in stride, and maybe it tips my boyfriend off a little bit. He's like, "Whoa, what is happening?" As I said, the Hades story where I found the candle, it was really interesting, I guess. There was a time when I was looking for a matron, and I kept getting so many different signs. I kind of asked for a matron, and everybody was like, "Hey," all at once. So that was definitely weird. And I kept researching these signs that I'm seeing. I'm like, what does this animal represent? What does it mean if something, something, something? And it always meant someone different. So I honestly think that several goddesses all at once were like, here. And I was like, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so confused. So that was a little weird. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that one. Number 8, do you believe in auras? If so, what color or colors do you believe yourself to have? So I definitely do. I can see auras on occasion. I've kind of been out of practice of doing that lately. But I also believe that your aura color does change almost constantly, just like your mood, just like your feelings and your mental state and emotions and etc. So as of now, I think it's almost blue, and that makes sense because of the blue is communication chakra. So, and I'm talking a lot, so that makes sense. It's like super light, almost turning to green, which is actually good. But I did have an aura reading from one of my favorite witchy YouTubers that actually got me started, Psychic Bob. If I can find the link to his channel, I will definitely put it down there. He does a lot of question and answer type things, so people just comment and he answers their question in the next video, and he actually answered a lot of questions that I had. And I don't know that I specifically asked him about the aura thing or not, but he told me at the time that my aura was like gray, like shifting. It's like, yeah, you're at a time of energetic change, it's gonna be okay, blah blah blah, you're starting new things. And I thought I had saved all of his response videos to my questions. He's one of those people who always sees my username and he's like, Alexia, that's such a pretty name. I'm like, thank you, I hate it. Anyhow, yeah, so I definitely believe that they change color constantly. And most of the time I'm not paying enough attention to actually look at other people's. But if you pay attention, you can actually see the outline, like right about that far out, maybe this far, around your head. It helps if you look at a white background or blank background. There's a lot of aura reading how-to videos on YouTube, so I've kind of gotten out of practice. But all right, number 9, if you do your own tarot or oracle readings, do you find them to be truthful, accurate, or is it biased? So I do my own tarot readings. I taught my boyfriend how to do tarot, and he reads for me sometimes. And I honestly think they're very accurate. And as is the running joke with tarot, accurate doesn't mean you like the answer. So when it's accurate, yes, but you hate them at the same time. You're like, oh, I didn't want to see this. Now I have to do more work. So yes, I do believe that they're very accurate and they're very sassy, but I love tarot. I honestly do. It's a lot of fun. And seeing my boyfriend do it and telling me, this is what this card means and this is what this card means, like, oh, he's learning. Number 10, what is one thing you're proud of yourself for? That's a really hard question because I'm hardly ever proud of myself. Magically speaking, probably just continuing to do this, like, in a better way. When I first started, I thought, oh, this might just be a fad. I might just pick up another one of 5 million hobbies and then just drop it. But it's actually been really good and continuing to be really good and really good for my emotional and mental health. And I think it's very relaxing, and it gives you a deeper sense of self and a deeper sense of just cosmic energy, if that's what you like. Specifically, since this is the cosmic tag, so that makes sense. Number 11, between light and dark, which is most prevalent in your practice, or are they both? So, I have no problem, I have no problem working with darker magic, and I know that might get me a little bit of pushback from the normal threefold do upon others community. But I don't necessarily think that black magic is inherently a bad thing, just as in shadow work is not a bad thing. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, shadow work is actually considered to be black magic. So anything basically above the do good unto others, love and light thing is a shade of gray or black. And I do a lot of shadow work and a lot of banishing, and I don't think that's bad. I think if you are intentionally going around using your power for evil and you're like, hey, there's an old lady crossing the street, let's curse her to break her leg. Like, yeah, that's bad. You're a horrible person, but that has to do with you as a person. So I think that there are occasions when black magic might be called for. And more in a passive way, I guess, if someone you know is getting tortured and beat up in their own home, domestic abuse, etc. I believe I've covered on this topic before. You fuck them up. Like, yeah. I mostly do above the board stuff, yes. But if someone else is getting hurt because of them, and you can do something about it that isn't violent, like, I don't know, the equivalent of popping their tires, only magically, you know, there's a lot of spells for making this person realize the hurt that they've caused me. That's not bad. Things like that. I don't think that you should, do anything violent or anything like that. I know there's a few spells where it's like, he's cheating on me. Here's some voodoo to make his dick fall off. Like, I've seen that spell and spells like it. Pardon the language, but I'm not going to do any of those things. I honestly think that karma can take care of what it needs to take care of. Other than that, do what you feel comfortable with. All right, number 12. Do you believe in aliens? If so, should we be fearful of their existence or try to communicate with them? So, in the very basic sense, aliens are just other life that does not live on Earth. And I believe with how science works, yes, there's other life besides that on Earth. I also think that maybe we radiate more energy than we think, and there's other beings that aren't necessarily physical that exist in a cosmic plane. I definitely believe that as well. So astral travel and you find another being, not necessarily an alien, but another energy source, I guess. So yes, I do in both senses. Number 13. So far on your path, what are some of your favorite things you've learned? Oh boy. I really enjoyed learning about how to communicate with deity. I really enjoyed learning to get to know them better. I just love learning everything as I go along. And yeah, I don't think there's anything that I regret learning about. And that goes for my normal life too. I'm like, just come up with a random fact. Or me and my boyfriend will be talking and we'll be like, hey, what about this thing? And I look it up and I'm like, wow. A lot of times it's, maybe a little not PG, but it's learning. In that same sense, I really enjoy learning about other cultures and about other religions. That's why I'm currently reading the Bible. And I just got past the Great Flood. Woo! That took me 3 weeks. All right, number 14. What are your thoughts on using tools for spirit communication? Example, tarot, oracle, Ouija board, spirit boxes, EVP, etc. Do you have any favorites? So, as someone who absolutely loves spirit communication, that's me, I also love to do ghost hunts and stuff like that. So I watch a lot of the ghost hunting shows, and I really like the spirit boxes. I almost bought one, but I didn't. I haven't actually used tarot or oracle to communicate specifically with spirits like that. I don't think. And my policy on using a Ouija board is kind of shaky because I won't buy one. Like, I'm not going to go out and get one. If I happen to have a witchy friend, which I don't, but if I did, and they had a Ouija board at their house, yes, I would use it with them. I would be really, really careful about leaving that there before I go home because I don't want to deal with any attachments. I'm not going to go out and buy a Ouija board by myself and use it by myself. That, especially in my house, I think that's kind of where it crosses the line for me. But I would indeed love to have a spirit box, and the EVP is also awesome. Ghost Adventures, also awesome. You should look at it if you haven't yet. I think it's on Hulu. Unfortunately, there's only like half of the seasons that they actually have, but we make do. So, in answer to that, all of them are great. Yeah, I think Spirit Box would have to be my favorite. I think. Alrighty, number 15. If you were able to talk to your future self, what questions would you ask? I know that people always make those posts about, oh, your future self would tell you that it does get easier and you shouldn't give up now and everything's going to be okay. But honestly, I think those questions are a little bit of a waste of time because in the current sense, you can't tell yourself, hey, it'll be okay in 5 years. It'll be okay maybe next month because what you're feeling now is affecting you now. And that could have really bad impact on your life now. So I'm not going to bother with any of those questions. I would probably just ask, what have you learned? What things have you found out? What life-changing experiences spiritually have you had? And at this very moment, is your spirit guide coming back? Because that's the most pressing question right now. But yeah, I think that it would be cool to run into a version of your future self where you're all lost weight and skinny and cool. But that's probably not going to happen. Yeah, I would kind of just want to know what they've learned and how their life has progressed. And then if I'm ever having doubts about this time period, then I will have a little bit more insight into maybe something good that happens further down the road. So that was the 15 cosmic questions from Little Cosmic Crow. Go check out her channel, Rainbow Pagan. Do this tag if you'd like. It's really fun. I think you'd like it, and I'd love to watch your VR because they're really great. Their channel's great too. You should go check it out. So, thank you, Little Cosmic Crow, for making this tag. I really enjoy tag videos, even if I wasn't personally tagged. But it gets me to make a video, so that's what's important. Anyway, now I have to go to work, so I'm probably not going to finish this cup of tea before I have to leave, but we'll see. Anyway, everyone, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon. Mwah.